episode, we're going to be diving deep into what the big picture of the Indian stock market is looking like at this current moment. I would like to touch upon something about markets with you because how can we not? So you recently made an analogy that being in the markets right now is like riding a tiger. How are you feeling riding this tiger right now?
I don't think you can explain how riding a tiger feels like for externally, honestly. But here's the thing that I feel that you'll get it as an analogy. It's like, you're on a sort of merry-go-round, and the merry-go-round is going faster and faster and faster. And at some point, you realize that, yeah, if I get off, no matter what happens, I'm going to get hurt. That's what riding a tiger is like, because the minute you get off, the tiger is going to become away from your friend, your enemy, right? So it's a little bit like that, because a lot of people don't know what it is to do this. And when the market reaches this phase, so they have either apprehensions on getting in, or if they're in, they're only wondering whether they should get out. This is not very meaningful from their own perspective, because they don't know what, if you get out, you don't know when by when to get back in. You get so disturbed by the experience that you find that capital markets are not for you. These kind of things happen often, and in a time when markets are going up like crazy, you kind of feel that this is like riding a tiger. Except people who are riding a tiger don't know that they're riding a tiger. They think they're riding something really fast.
So we are basically theoretically coming back to the same point that people don't know that they are actually riding a tiger at this point in time, correct?
You should know. That's the point. And the minute you know you're riding tiger, you're at now top 1%. The 99% doesn't know. They don't even know there's a tiger around. They're thinking, normal है, entitlement है. तो इंडिया अच्छा कर रहा है, तो मतलब 15-20% तो आएगा ही आएगा types. You don't get to determine the money that you will make in markets, and you'll never be able to time the exact top. So it's like riding a tiger in the sense of it being inexplicably fast. And the more you try to explain it, the more miserable you're going to feel.
Okay, so on one hand, you can't time the markets based on valuations, and on the other hand, according to the large segment, which you said you disagree with, the market is overvalued. So what does someone actually who is feeling queasy and confused about this markets do in this current scenario, do in this present scenario?
Very simple. If you're queasy and confused, take your money out, put it in FD and sit because money is irrelevant, right? In the end of the game, you'll lose some 3-4%. क्या होगा बाद में आ जाना. I mean, it's not like, so that's what I'm saying. If you make this something that is eating into your life, that's not what investments are for. They're supposed to earn money for you passively and all that. If they're making you make these decisions on a 1 month basis or 2 month basis, or ये market ऊपर चलाएगा, कुछ तो करना चाहिए types, then don't do this. Take out enough money that you feel that it's okay. I'll take it out, I'll keep it somewhere safe, and I will be okay if the market continues to go up. And you can do that. It's just a psychological game. It doesn't change anything for you. But because you may be the first time walking into a business which has such volatility, you don't generally have such volatility in life, right? So it's not like somebody comes to you every day and says, "Kal tumhara salary kam hoga," and then 2 months later, "Kal tumhara salary zyada hoga." Nobody comes and tells you this in real life. You're very stable real life people. So for the most part, we don't like this volatility. They don't like it when it goes down. So my funda is, it's there. It's the attribute of the business. It's like, I don't know, if you play any game, whether it's sports or whether it is, Roger Federer had a fantastic statement to make recently. He said, if you look at all the points I've played in my entire life, I've probably won just about 50% of all the points I've played in my life, which means every single serve, return, everything that if you just took at a point level, he's probably done 50-50. But across the landscape, he has won so many tournaments, 20 something Wimbledon or whatever it is, 20 something Grand Slams and so many Wimbledon titles and so on. The point is, he's won the right points. But if you focus on winning every single point, you will never get anywhere. That means you want to make money on every single trade, on every single day, at every single month. That's just time for misery. So you'll have some bad months. I'm sure Federer had his bad tournaments. But in the end, you'll come back. The point about this business is sustainability. That means you shouldn't bet so much that you don't have anything to play with again. It's a series of games, and then you're going to make those bets over and over again. Sometimes you're just going to buy mutual funds and say this thing. But if you keep looking at the scorecard every day and say, "Aaj thoda niche ho gaya. I should have sold 5 days ago," you're just going to make yourself miserable on on some of these aspects. So I would say don't make yourself miserable. Sell to the point of not feeling miserable anymore. Then you'll be fine.
So you've been talking a lot about the and even cautioned investors about the unpredictable nature of the current market. So given that view, how can investors best navigate the short-term corrections without being overly reactive?
Okay, first piece. We don't predict, we respond. I have this saying that I don't predict, just respond. You don't know the answers. So now it comes into when markets can be educative and markets can be entertaining. So the entertaining part is you can have any number of theories on why markets went up or will go up or will go down. I can tell you hundreds of reasons right now. Oh, China will attack Taiwan. Oh, Trump will come and change the whole thing. Oh, we will have government giving lots of free money to the poor. Russia attacked Ukraine. The whole Europe got on side of Ukraine, and yet we have no crashes in the market. We're at all-time highs. Indian market didn't even react. US market reacted for a year and now it's back. Even though the Ukraine war is on, then there's an Israel war going on, there's something else. So you have geopolitical events of gargantuan magnitudes happening. Any of them can happen again and they can tank the market. You can't predict what will, but you know that something will. But whenever it does, you will get. It's like there's a party going on, and you know that at some point cops are going to come and stop the party. So you do say, I won't go to the party. Okay, don't go to the party. You won't have any fun. You won't, in this case, the equivalent is you won't make any money in the markets. But otherwise, if you do go there, then what are you going to do? You're going to keep saying, cops are coming, cops are coming, cops are coming. And when they come, you go. It's worst case you'll get hit is about 20-30%. And if you're not willing to take 20-30%, you're in the wrong business. You're in the wrong thing. So I think, don't try to make too many decisions there. When it's down 15-20%, make a decision on whether you want any more and you'll get out. Or even at 10% down or 15% down, take some of the money out and then move around, because that's the simplest way to do things. It's easy to say, but it's not very easy to do.
But Deepak, if I have to ask you that if you have to put your discretionary fund manager hat and look at the themes like PSUs, power, real estate, defense, and even infrastructure that have had crazy rallies, what do you feel? Is that going to continue? What are the kind of investments you're looking at when we talk about these sectors that have seen such crazy rallies?
I wish I could say yes, but I don't know. The answer is no idea if they're good. Like I said, don't predict, respond, right? जाएगा तो अच्छा है, नहीं जाएगा तो हम निकल जाते हैं. So we've been buying some of them anyways, because they're good companies. We think long term the earnings will be better. But necessarily speaking, we might be looking at position sizing these companies to a smaller level in some cases where the valuations are very high, and say, okay, we'll get into a bigger position size when the market's correct, or when these guys, when they demonstrate the earnings, because I'm not confident enough that the earnings are so good. So I'll get into a larger position size at that time. But these are just small technical, positions. So you kind of don't say, so never say things like, I won't buy PSUs. These are like, there is a never say never wala funda in markets. You never do that, because you don't know when things can change. You have to evaluate everything.